don't know about this big hair I got going on. Big hair, big hair. I totally lost it. Hi. So welcome to this episode of Sarah Uncut. I'm Sarah Walton, in case we haven't met before. I am a business mentor, author, and speaker. Some people call me an intuitive business coach, which I kind of get because I'm kind of intuitive, which blows my mind, but there you are. So welcome to this episode of Sarah Uncut, where we are going to talk about the age-old question that I hate so much. Oh no, I hate it. It's called, how can I have work-life balance while I achieve business success? Oh my people, let's get to this. So guys, you know what? There's no such thing as work-life balance. That's right. You heard it here first. You know why? That is the most false paradigm I've ever heard of, because there's no such thing as your work and your life. I know, newsflash. What is it that Gru says? Light bulb. Guys, does your life stop when you're working? I have no life. I just work. No, it is all your life. The clock doesn't stop ticking on your life when you sit down to work on emails. And then it starts back up again when you go, wash dishes, do laundry, look after your family. What are you talking about? Are you not alive when that's happening? Is it not your life? So this idea, this part of the myth of what it is to be alive, and specifically what it is to be a woman today, right? There really is, as I've been talking about for months now, this high functioning codependence bullshit that we have going on. It is just outrageous to me that we're supposed to pretend like this part of our life matters, this part of our life doesn't matter. And when we're doing this, we really should be doing that. And when we're doing all of it, but we're not doing it well enough. Oh, and by the way, I think I need something. No, shut that down. You don't have any feelings. You're not allowed to feel. Just be quiet and get everything done for everyone else, because it bugs us when you actually need something. And all of that conversation has led to this disgusting idea that you have work and you have life. No, you have a life. And in your life, you will choose to spend your time on different things, but it's all your time. It's all your life. Now, if you feel, not what society has dictated, not what your life partner has dictated, not what your children, family, friends, colleagues, I don't give a freaking what any of those people think. I am asking you, the beautiful women who always ask me this question, how do I find the work-life balance? I'm asking you, do you feel out of balance? And if you do, that we can dive into. That we can start to talk about. And I will bet you, most of what you're feeling is that you are serving the entire world and making sure none of your needs are met. Now, do you do this on purpose because you're a bad person? No. No. That's part of the same cycle. Do you see that? It's like, oh, I'm a bad person because I need stuff. Oh, I'm a bad person because I didn't know I needed stuff. Stop. We've got to stop this, you guys. You've heard me say this before in other ways. I'm just going to go really directly at this because somebody wrote in this question to me. They actually sat down at their computer and typed in, how do I find work-life balance when I'm chasing business success? And it hurts me. Not because it's not a great question. I get why the question's being asked, and God love us for always looking for solutions. That part I want to honor and acknowledge. I think that's extraordinary. But you guys, no. There is no balance because you are not in balance. And I hate to say that, it's not even your fault you're not in balance. You're not in balance because you have been taught not to be. This high functioning codependence, the codependence piece is we feel like we need it. Right? We need the outside accolades of, oh, she's killing it. My personal favorite, which I have said before that makes me want to vomit. This actually comes from Glennon Doyle's book, Untamed. Okay. She actually said it in that book for the first time. That was the first time I heard it. And it has just soaked into my brain. And I've been talking about it so much. But this one, she's so selfless. We have got to stop rewarding women who've given up themselves. Selfless. There is no more self in there because the life of serving other people's needs is all that matters. That is wrong. I'm going to say it that directly. That is incorrect. That is wrong. You were not put here to make sure everyone else was okay while you suffered. And that might be at the root of this question. Might not be for everybody, and I can acknowledge that, but most of you watching this video right now, that's you. And you know it. And that just went, oh my gosh, I don't remember the last time I asked for what I needed. And that's the balance, right? Another example, and again, please don't hear this. I say this all the time. Please don't hear this as I hate men. I do not. The way society has structured the genders, right? And that's getting more fluid too, which is really cool to watch. And I'm really excited to see how this affects our high functioning codependence. It's going to be amazing. And toxic masculinity, right? We're not the only gender that's been at the effect of BS lies, right? And I can see that too. I understand that. And I think you can too. So all of these social constructs are actually, I believe, at the root of this question: how do I find work-life balance? We need to put more balance into taking care of all of the things that need to happen in order for life to run smoothly. You know, I saw a post not long ago that really I found to be really interesting, and it was a woman talking about a male colleague. And the male colleague had said, oh, well, I wrote this book in 6 months because I slotted 5 hours after my workday to get this done. And she said it was at that moment I realized how much work his wife did. Now, again, please don't hear this as I'm like, break down yeah, we need to break down some of the social constructs. I think that's very clear. I think unless you haven't been paying attention, we all know it's time to break down some social constructs. I think that's healthy. I think that's smart for us to question what's happening. But do you see that in your life? Like, do you see that unless you are the one who does it, it doesn't get done? Have you seen that in your own life? I bet you have, right? Because you're probably a really high functioning, extraordinary woman if you decided to seek out this video. You're asking really smart questions like, oh, how do I find work-life balance? Only somebody who's trying to expand themselves would ask that question, right? Because the way life has been set up is we take care of everybody. And then it's like, oh, I have these needs over here. And people are like, no, you're out of balance now. You're working too much. You're not taking care of everything over here. But the push I wanna have on that is, do we say that to our male colleagues? No. We don't. We just don't say that. You know, and this comes up again, this imbalance will come up again a lot around pay as well, right? And we've seen that before, where I will have colleagues who, like the psychological field, right? Where they know they can really help people and they're extraordinary at doing that. And they'll say, oh, but I feel bad, I shouldn't charge because I'm helping people. I'm like, right, how many times have you ever heard a male colleague say that? And she'll say, oh my God, never. We have been trained, and again, there's no like big bad, this is a societal norm. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about. We have been trained by society, by the norms, by the infrastructure, right, that's in place, that our work should not be compensated. That our work is there only to make sure everyone else is okay and that our needs don't matter. Now, am I speaking in generalities? Yes, I am, and I understand that, but I want you to see what part of this message is true for you. What part of what I've just shared hit you and you went, oh my gosh, I do that. You may not do it in every area of life, but you do it in some. And I know that because you're like alive right now and watching this video, so you couldn't have escaped this. This is the way society's been set up for a really long time. So as you start to feel like, oh, I'm out of balance between work and life, I want you to check in and say, okay, so where can I get some more support around things that don't necessarily need me to do them? What's going on there that you feel out of balance? And then check in on yourself too. Like maybe you are working a whole lot and it doesn't feel good. That's awesome. So check in on that and adjust. That's totally fine. But the only person that can answer whether or not you are in balance is you. So one of the things you can do to work through this for yourself, if you're feeling stuck or it still feels a little fuzzy and you're not quite sure where you fit into this or how your life fits into this idea, is to sit down on a weekly basis, right? And I mean this seriously. I actually have this in my calendar. It's called Week in Review. It comes in on Sundays at 5 p.m. That's my hour for myself to just sort of look back and look at where in your life you feel fulfilled and happy and where you feel like you could have done a little bit better in the last week. So one question you can add to your weekly review that I really love is this very simple question. What have I outgrown? It's a really important question. As you look at your week in review, you look at the important aspects of your life. So you pick what those are. Maybe it's how I handled money. It's how I handled my relationship. It's how I handled the house. It's how I handled my career. It's how I handled my health. It's how I handled my hobbies. Like look at the big parts for you that really matter to you and sort of look at how you did that week. Look at what you want to do more of next week. If you start to see something's out of balance, put it back in balance, but you're the only one that can answer that question. Then add on the last question. What have I outgrown? And I know for me this week, a couple things I outgrew was being mad at myself or being mean to myself about health. That's something I can really fight with myself about. And I said, you know what, I'm kind of outgrown that. And I really have. It's been amazing. So there's lots of areas of life where you can just ask that question, just sort of let yourself free form. And what will happen at the end of that is you will see where you're out of balance and where you're not, and where you feel like you want to add a little bit more joy, happiness, hobby time, work time, right? Whatever it is that makes you happy, put that in for the next week and make sure you're taking care of your balance, not the balance everyone else thinks you should have. Go get them. I'll see you next time.